Penguin Random House presents Exprovement, Exponential Improvement Through Converging Parallels by Hersh Haladker and Raghunath Mashelkar, read by Ashish David. Hersh Haladker's dedication. To my grandmother, who taught me to fearlessly explore my curiosity and nurtured within me a maker's mindset. Raghunath Mashelkar's dedication. To my mother, who is no more, but continues to be everywhere for me. The unexpected connection is more powerful than the one that is obvious. Heraclitus. Introduction. How does one inspire growth in a way that has never been thought of before? In a world where the next big idea could be waiting around the corner, most of us tend to seek inspiration from the ecosystem with which we are familiar and well acquainted. For example, a person working in the automotive industry generally analyzes automotive companies to find innovative solutions. A person working at a soft drink company would generally study processes within the food and beverage industry, and so on. But what if a person from the automotive industry draws a parallel with the process followed in the food and beverage industry? What if that parallel is able to give them the leverage to begin with a clean slate, a new perspective that addresses problems or inspires growth in ways they had never thought of before? The clean slate is not about beginning from scratch. It's about beginning with a new perspective. This new perspective gives an organization the opportunity to shed some of the baggage that is either redundant or comes in the way of its continued growth while taking cognizance of newly relevant circumstances. For example, the impact of failed products, unexpected political changes, a global pandemic, market saturation, climate change, evolving customer wants, and other such elements. Through the real-life examples covered in this book, listeners will begin to understand that this new perspective, the perspective of Exprovement, that allows companies to start on a new footing, can be gained by looking for parallels outside of one's industry. Listeners will also gain insight into how the application of parallels into their own organization could create exponential improvement, breakthroughs, new solutions, new markets, and even entirely new industries in some cases. This book, in fact, is the result of the coming together of two parallel perspectives from two diverse backgrounds that share a common goal, that of encouraging an Exprovement mindset amongst today's organizational leaders. Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar, who is a globally decorated scientist and a transformative science leader, has held both positions at several leading companies and has been one of the eminent leaders of the innovation movement in India. He brings in the big picture perspective of breakthrough innovation and radical organizational transformation in a fast-changing world. Hersh Haladker, credited with developing innovative products and processes and fostering a culture of innovation at several organizations across many industries, brings in the maker mindset of a practitioner, one who imagines ways to transform macro-level ideas into practical and effective solutions. The authors of this book celebrate the concept that diversity of perspectives is the key to extraordinary breakthroughs and have come together to conceptualize, develop, and share the idea of Exprovement. Before beginning this book, it is important to keep two things in mind. 1. Parallels for Exprovement can be drawn with practically anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be with another industry. You will see examples where parallels have been drawn with operations, technology, and products from entirely different industries. Abstract ideas, nature, the human body, areas of study, mindsets, toys, sports, and so much more. The possibilities are endless. 2. A clean slate can mean different things for different companies. For some companies, it can mean deciding to modify and reintroduce a product that failed in one industry into another entirely different industry. For example, Play-Doh started out as a wallpaper cleaning product that removed coal residue but lost its market appeal with the declining use of coal furnaces in the 1950s. by drawing a parallel with the idea that one Cincinnati school teacher had, which was to use the product in arts and crafts classes. The company pivoted, deciding to make the product more colorful, and went on to become hugely successful in the children's toys industry. For some organizations, it could mean drawing a parallel with ways of operation or technology from another industry and integrating those into one's own industry. For example, in 1913, Ford drew a parallel between its car manufacturing assembly line and that of the slaughterhouse or meat-packing industry, where various meat parts were sequentially removed by workers from a moving line. By modifying the conveyor belt concept that brought parts to workers rather than workers moving to the parts, Ford was able to reduce the time it took to build a car from more than 12 hours to 1 hour and 33 minutes. For others, a clean slate could mean drawing a parallel with an untapped need to create a new product, service, or reimagine one's own product, discovered by paying close attention to what the market has to say. For example, YouTube started out as a dating website for users to upload videos in lieu of their dating profile. But when users began to upload videos of whatever they felt like, the founders realized that there was a market for a platform where user-generated content, or UGC, could be uploaded, which gave rise to YouTube as we know it today. The defining moments for successful companies, like the three mentioned before, that maintained their relevance in evolving marketplaces and which eventually led to their unparalleled success, began with them drawing a parallel with an idea or a need that was born in an entirely different place from the original business idea. The possibilities of what a clean slate could mean, thus, are as endless as the possibilities for drawing parallels. The last chapter outlines the ways in which one can begin to develop an Exprovement mindset with tips, thoughts, and practical tools that serve as a guide, covering areas as diverse as healthcare, architecture, elder care, space exploration, sports team management, and gastronomy, to name just a few. The scope of Exprovement isn't by any means limited to just a few industries or areas of study. The cases explored in the book will highlight how the concept of Exprovement, by drawing parallels, can be applied to any organization. Chapter 1. Exprovement. Redesign the bicycle or rethink human-powered mobility. Bicycles have been around since the early 1800s. The first bicycle, said to have been invented by Carl von Drais, had a frame made of wood, two wooden wheels with iron rims, leather-covered tires, and no pedals. A person using the swift walker, as it was known, walked straddling the cycle, lifting their feet off the ground during descents. Nowadays, bicycles have disc brakes, shock absorbers, lightweight frames, wheel options to suit a variety of terrains, and several other features that make their design and operation quite different from that of the initial version. Today, if a bicycle manufacturing company wants to explore directions for growth, there is a wide spectrum to consider, from redesigning its current bicycle model by incorporating newer technology to reimagining and developing an entirely new way for human beings to transport themselves. While both ends of the spectrum have the potential to result in a novel solution, the solution that entails a redesign is likely to be an improvement of what already exists, while the solution that involves rethinking human-powered mobility is likely to be something more disruptive in nature, something that brings about an entirely new manner of human mobility, a radical improvement, or exprovement. Redesigning the bicycle is a solution that works in the existing context of how things are. But rethinking human-powered mobility requires a new context to be established, and therefore would be an exponential improvement or exprovement. Organizations can meet their growth objectives in both ways. However, if the aspiration is to create disruption, organizations must invest in exprovements. The process and outcomes may not always be pretty or even desirable, but it is imperative to stay ahead of the curve, as all exprovement efforts will be worth it in the long run. To adopt an exprovement mindset, organizations
Sample complete. Ready to continue?